You see, for me, I think if you look at the last election we had, about 70% of it ended in court. And I'm beginning to feel that it is wrong. Well, firstly, I think if you lose, you need to be a good loser. And if you win, you need to be a good winner. It shouldn't be winner takes all. That's number one. But I've realized that so many politicians are bad losers. And that's why when they lose, even when it is clear that they've lost, they still go to court. They look for one silly excuse and go to court. I think we need to avoid that. When we're having an election, we have a case where all the world will tell you we are sending observers to Nigeria. I don't think it is even right. Observers to do what? Are you saying we can't conduct our country? Are you saying we can't observe ourselves? But we need to do the right thing. That's number two. Number three for me, we want to have credible elections. And for that to happen, all hands must be on deck. That's number three. We must choose the right candidates. We must vote for the right candidates. We must do things the right way. Look at a section that says all elections should be held in one day. For me, I think it does make sense because it will cut down cost. It will cut down cost on security. It will cut down cost on personnel. It will cut down cost on so many things. If you go to UK today, even when they are having their election, the children are in school and they are using that school for election. But you will not even know there's an election going on. People just walk in, vote, and go back to their houses. We must have credible election. Election shouldn't be do or die. If you lose, shape the winner. Tell the winner what your opinions are. Contribute to the quota, contribute to the development of your area. Either as a lawmaker, or a governor, a councillor, a chairman. Contribute, support that winner. And make sure that area or that state or the country progresses. So there are so many sections I think we need to look at. Not necessarily change. There are some that we just need to look at and say, okay, this is fine. There are some that needs to be changed. I don't want to start telling you all the sections that needs to be changed, but I'm sure that there are so many sections that need to be changed. The issue of having elections in different days, I think we can cut that off. It will cut so many things off.
Okay, in previous electoral review, 3 issues have always generated concern: electronic voting, independent candidacy, and diaspora voting. What do you think about this?
Well, let's start with diaspora voting. I don't think we're ready for diaspora voting. You see, for you to have diaspora voting, there must be data. Unless you can tell me today that you know the number of Nigerians living in all other countries, in UK, US, Germany, France, Spain, even in Ghana, yeah, we cannot even boast of a good election. There are some areas in Nigeria where they will tell you, oh, there is no network, the Wi-Fi there is not working, even within Nigeria. And you want somebody who is in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, in Ivory Coast to vote in our election. You are bringing trouble. When you are not even sure the person voting is Nigeria. We have people who voted in the last election in Nigeria, living in Nigeria, that are not Nigerians. It's our election. It's Nigerian election. You can't vote in British election or American election without you having the legal means to live in that country. That you're in that country legally. You can't have a visa. You can't take 6 months visa to go to UK on an holiday as a visitor. And when there's an election, you go and vote. But it's happening in Nigeria. We have so many people who are not from Nigeria, who live in Nigeria, who are voting, who does not have a right to vote, but who are voting in Nigeria. So for me, diaspora voting, we are not ready for it. With time, yes, why not? With time. Even the so-called Western world, their diaspora voting is limited to certain groups. In UK, they will tell you, oh, maybe the army who are fighting in another country or where, because they know their number, they know them. They have their data. So if, for example, you are a British citizen and you are fighting the war in Iraq, and then there's an election, they know that you are in Iraq. They have your details, they have your address, so you can actually vote. And that is why they will allow you to vote days or months before the election, so you can post it back. But we don't have that information, so I don't think we are ready for that. That's number one. Number two, what's the other thing?
Independent candidacy.
Independent candidacy. For me, I think it's a good idea, and I'm sure we'll get there with time. But one thing you need to look at is that if you see independent candidates, you realize that your ballot paper will be so long that it might be a problem. Because every Tom, Dick, and Harry that thinks he can afford to pay the fee, he wants to be a candidate. Some people know that they can win. Some people know that they won't get 10 votes. But just to say, I'm a candidate, it may be a good idea because there are so many people that are very competent that are the leaders we want, who might not get a ticket from a party, who can actually be an independent candidate. So for me, the 50-50 thing, with time, I think it's something we should do. We need to look at the constitution, we need to look at how it is going to be, then there must be conditions so that it's not every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Because what it simply means that anybody that has got the means, that has got the money, will think, okay, I don't care, even if I lose, or at least my name will be on the ballot paper. Now, what you are voting for is not the candidate, it's the party. And that is why you don't have the name of candidates on an electoral ballot paper. All you have is the party. But by the time you start talking about independent candidacy, that means you are now voting for somebody, you need the name on the ballot paper. So it means that if an 18 or 20-year-old boy who has some money, who has done some Yahoo, and who thinks he can afford it, will be a candidate for the presidency. And our ballot paper will be so long that you might need, for every ballot paper, you might need the trailer to roll it before you can vote. But if we have laws guiding some things, if we have laws limiting some things, making some requirements, making some demands of you before you can become an independent candidate, I think it's a good one. For me.
Electronic voting?
Electronic voting, I think I've answered that. If you don't have Wi-Fi and your internet is not working, what happens to IREF? What happens to Beavers? Oh, Beavers is not working. Oh, Beavers is not this. And electronic voting is about internet. So you see, there's all these are genuine, beautiful ideas, good ideas, but you don't put the cart before the horse. Let's do the right thing. Let's make sure that our internet is like this. You sitting in front of me. If I need to call you, I might call you and you tell me your phone is not available, it's switched off. That is the kind of network you have in Nigeria. We need to work with these network providers. For me, I think they are just cheating Nigerians. The network providers, honestly, I think they're just cheating us. So if they can't provide that, if we can't provide that, look, how many times have you gone to a store to buy something and you give them your card and they tell you decline when you know you have money in it, or they tell you network, we can't find network. How many times?
They beat you then.
So, and electronic voting is about internet. But I cannot even use my card at times. I cannot even use my card. They tell you decline, and you know you have money in that account. Or they tell you what's it called? Their POS is not working. So electronic voting, when we are ready, a beautiful idea. A beautiful idea.
Okay.
But how many countries are doing electronic voting now? Are they ready? Are we ready?
The opposition.
Number one, PDP is just a party in disarray that's looking for something. They're looking for something to be heard. For me, I don't think. Yeah, there's hardship in the country. I agree with that, and I understand that. And I'm sure that with time, things will work up. Things will be better. I'm sure that with time, whether we like it or not, things will get better. And I'll give you an example. When you plant a seed, that seed must get rotten before it begins to grow. You plant a cassava, a maize. That maize will have to get rotten before it begins to grow. I think we're in that stage now. Bad policies, so many things has gone wrong in this country. So many things were wrong. Talking about the hardship in the country, it didn't just start 8 months ago. It didn't start. Look, when we were young, I think in the early 80s, I can't remember, maybe 83, 84, Corinthians sang Ilule, that things were so tough. But this has done the same thing. So it's always been there. We're just trying to get it better. I understand. We all feel the same thing. I go to the same market like every other person. I know things are very expensive. I know things are bad. If the policies are wrong, I'm sure it will be changed. Things are tough now. I agree totally, honestly. But again, we will continue to work on it. We continue to make sure we look at how things can be better, how Nigerians can enjoy, how we can have a lasting solution. It's not just a solution for now. We're not just trying to change things for now and under 3 months. If we want to do that, that is easy. It's easy for the president to start borrowing money and put money in the market, open our borders for every goods to come in, either good or bad, just come into the market, flood the market with bad products, and everybody will be laughing. But it means that in another 10, 15, 12 years, then when they start asking for that debt, the money we've borrowed, we are in trouble. Then they start bringing substandard products into the country, substandard medication, substandard food, and we start having to get money to start attending to health issues. So we must strike a balance. It's easy for any government to say, okay, open the borders, let's bring in any product from all the other countries, and we'll go to the dumping ground of the world. But what that will simply means is that we'll get so much substandard goods that either medication, food, clothing, and everything, it will be so substandard that it will affect us in other ways. So we might as well take our time, look at what is the right thing. What do we do? How do we go about it and get it right once and for all? And we can all laugh. I don't know. I know it's tough, but I believe so much in the president, and I believe he's going to do a wonder thing. I believe he's going to change this country for the better.
Many Nigerians think that
Believe that, there's a government, they are the government, these are our leaders are bad. But we are all included in this. Everybody is government, everybody is a leader. And that was why we are saying security is about see something, say something. Until we begin to do that. If we don't do that, we're just doing ourselves. Yes, banditry, Boko Haram, X-Men. Let's look at the last one. Some people were arrested in, I think in Egypt or something, about 12 of them. But the funny thing was that the woman was arrested that was selling food to them. So the woman knew where they were, knew when they come out to get their foods, knew everything, but didn't tell anybody because she was making money. And she knew that they were kidnapping people and collecting ransom, but she didn't care. You see, until we begin to look out for each of us, until we begin to be mindful of the safety of others. If all I care about is what I get, the money I can make from you, or what I get from you, and I don't care whose yours is God, it means that one day it's going to be my turn. It's going to be my turn one day. If you see something that you think is wrong, alert the authority. The policemen are not herbalists, they are not pastors, they are not afars. They don't have something, they don't have water they look at in the morning that will say, in social place there's going to be kidnapping. But if people in that axis feel that, there's this suspicious movement, we saw some guys yesterday, we don't know where, and you alert the police or alert the army or something, they work on it. Even if you alert them and they realize that maybe those guys are nothing, they are not a threat, you let them go. But at least alert them, let them know. So on the issue of security, we have a lot to do. Yes, I agree. Even the security outfits must be equipped, they must be well equipped, they must be well compensated, and they must be insured to know that if anything happens to them in the course of defending the country, their family will be taken care of. So the government has a lot to do too. You can't tell me to go and face somebody with an automatic rifle when you give me a dang gun. I must be well equipped too. The bulletproofs, everything, they must be well equipped. They must be well insured. They must be well compensated. So they know that if something happens, their family will be taken care of. We all have to ask. That's for the government to take care of the security outfit. But for the people too, we must be ready to work with the government. And that is why we keep talking about state police. If you have state police, they know their locality, they know their area, and they can guide their area very well. They can secure their area. Instead of bringing somebody, if you take somebody from Lagos to go and work in Kaduna, he knows nothing about Kaduna. Or you take somebody from Lagos to go and work in Anambra or Abia or Ebonyi, he knows nothing about Ebonyi. And if there's every possibility, he's going to step on their toes. Because if they have a rule to say that maybe they worship a god or something, and he doesn't know, when they're worshiping that god, he's going to arrest them. And it's going to be a taboo for them. And it's going to cause conflict. But if you put somebody from Lagos to be the DPO or the commissioner of police in Lagos, he knows the laws in Lagos. When Eyo is out, he knows the laws of Eyo. He will not trample on their laws. When they want to do their own or whatever, or when the churches are doing something, he knows their laws. He won't trample on their laws. So state police is, I think, even for security, is very important. That's that. The other one, what's the other one? Sorry?
The economy.
The economy. The issue of economy, it's about all of us. Everybody keeps talking about the dollar. If I don't have any cost to import anything, if I don't have any cost to buy foreign foods, why would the rise of dollar be a problem to me? Why? If I choose to wear my buba and shokoto, so much in presenting the best. I've always been one of them. I was born in that constituency. I live in that constituency. I do everything in that constituency. So they know me very well, and I know them very well. I can feel their pain, I can feel their joy. So we're together. So the only thing they will expect from me is good representation. They know that whatever is their belief, whatever is their right, I'll fight for. Whatever they are entitled to, I'll fight for. Even at times that they are not entitled to, I'll fight for. What is important for me is that my constituency must grow. What is important for me is that the schools in my constituency must be well equipped, the hospitals must be well equipped. No, you can't trample on that of my constituent. I'll come out to fight for them. I don't care who you are. If you think you can just trample on their rights, if they bring my attention to it, I will fight it to the end. I'm one of them. I'm a proud Lagos Queenland boy, and I'll continue to represent them to the best of my ability.
Thank you, sir.
The law that applies in Philadelphia might not apply in New York. That way, there will be peace of mind. So for me, I'm totally for state police.
Okay, those who oppose state police, one of their reasons is that talking about funding it, that some states are not even fear of abuse by the governors and all the rest. How do you think, what safety guards do you think can be put in place to avoid all this, to address these issues?
Number one, talking about the creation of state police, funding it shouldn't be an issue. Each state will fund it according to its power, according to what it can afford. So say for example, Lagos with about 25 million people might need 2 million policemen, might need 1 million policemen, and they only employ on what they need. If Ogun State with about 3 million people only needs 50 or 100 police, they will employ according to their need. Not just because Lagos has employed 1 million, Ogun must employ 1 million, or Odo must employ 1 million. They look at their pulse, they look at, okay, what can we afford? What can we pay for? That's number one. Now talking about the governors using the police to, I don't know even what for.
To victimize their opponent politically.
But are we saying the president of Nigeria is using the police to victimize his opponent? Are we saying there are no laws there? Are we saying that if that is done, people cannot go to court? Look, what consensus? Because people feel that the police they are doing something against the masses, and that is their right to protest. So if we have state police and they're doing something wrong, either through the governor's order or the police, people knows what to do. People knows their right. There's a constitution, and the constitution supersedes any other thing. Nobody's above the law. So I don't think those two excuses. Yeah, the funding is very critical, but like I said, you only employ based on what you need, based on what you can afford. Those two things are very germane. You won't say because one state is employing. Look, Kano with its population, Lagos with its population will probably need more police, but that does not mean the number Lagos employs must be the number of Ogun or your Ondo must employ. Each state will look at their population, will look at their needs, will determine how secure their state is. All those are things they put in perspective that they will think about before they employ state police. But more importantly, state police must be guided by law. So people who are asking for state police know there must be some laws in place. There must be a check and balance. And one of the things I think should be done, and that must be done, is the state police must be on first line charge. They don't have to go cap in hand begging the governor for money every month. So on a monthly basis, if their budget is 12 million, you know that as soon as the month ends, they must get 1 billion because it must be on first line child. Divide their money and give it to them on a monthly basis, either you make money or not. That way, it's only when you start going to the governor cap in hand that the governor can say, okay, do this for me. If you don't do this for me, I won't do this for you. But if they are first line charge and they get their money and the people are not sleeping, we've passed the stage where you can just do whatever you like as a politician. We've passed that stage in Nigeria. What we have today is people watch everything that is happening and they react. They don't wait.